Hi guys, Rich here, RC Shop Talk time, and I'm doing things a little bit different this week because as I'm doing the upgrades to the car, I'm going to be demonstrating them in this video, so quite a bit to cover on here, so let's see what we've got ahead of us guys. Well, first up, I'm going to be covering the latest mods to my Traxxas Rally, then I'm going to talk about the new power plant I've got in mind for fitting to my Losi DBXLE, then I'm going to fit the new speed pinion gear to my Armour Typhon V4 6S. I'm going to be covering why the big rock's got no wheels and what it will have by the end of this video, then I'm going to be showing you exactly what damage I did to my Armour Granite 4x4 the other day, and the new power plant I've got in mind for my HPI sprint car. Now whilst I'm going to cover all that guys, might not be in quite that order. Okay, well first up guys, Traxxas Rally power upgrade. I've actually fitted a new centre diff to the Rally on here. We've got 23 tooth pinion on here as I want to keep the acceleration as opposed to just going for absolute top speed on this thing. Castle 4600 kV motor because I want a torque on this thing to have the power to be low down, so I'm not interested in going at like 65-70 miles an hour, although you might touch upon this with this setup. Mamba X to control everything with, and a cat pack to go on that car, so fingers crossed that shouldn't take too long to do. Well, in the blink of an eye guys, it's finished. Sorry I can't do the finger clicking thing like Kevin does, but what I can do is fit a 3S pack in this right now, take it outside, see just what the difference these mods have made. So let's do that. Ooh, 3 wheels and the brakes on this thing. Quite vicious on there. So no assurance on the righteous. Ooh, well, a little bit of cogging on there in a minute. Wants to lift that inner rear wheel up like a real like front wheel drive car. But a little bit of work to do on the gearing. I think it's maybe a little bit tight on there. But acceleration brutally quick. A little bit of tweaking to do on that gearing I think, but it shows potential. Anyway, on to the next car. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of live action with the Traxxas Rally there. Another speed mod coming up in just a minute as I'm fitting a 4kV motor to my HPI sprint car. First of all though, just want to run over what I'm up to with my two Losi big bad boys. As you may see, this is kind of in pieces because yours truly has been trying to fit the telemetry setup to the car. Every time I fit a Bluetooth module in the back of the transmitter, the transmitter stops talking to the car. Anyway, Horizon are sending me out a new transmitter, so hopefully that'll cure that. But that's the reason why that car has not been running for a little while. But moving on swiftly to the Losi DBXLE, I've been debating buying another new RC car, or I could fit a 400 amp ESC and a new motor in a Losi XLE, which I'm told in my one of my local hobby stores should push this thing to over 70 miles an hour. It weighs 33 pounds guys. Should I do that, or should I buy a new RC car? Tempted to fit the new power plant to this, I really am. I love my Losi absolutely to bits. It needs a little bit of TLC, but then I do put it through quite a bit. Time to fit a speed pinion to the Armour Typhon 6S. Now, this has got the new slide out system where you can change the pinion fairly easily. By the time you're watching this guys, I should be doing a full video on this, and I'll put a link to that video below this one. Also, for doing speedruns, I've got these GRP tyres that I picked up from JJ Customs. Slightly smaller in diameter on there, but they're not going to balloon at speed. They're the thing that Marvin uses for all his speedrun cars. Soft compound. Anyway, link to JJ Customs if you want to pick one of those up. Anyway, enough about the tyres. Time to fit the speed pinion, and by the time you're watching this, I should have also done the GPS speed tests on the Armour Typhon 6S. So if you don't want to miss those guys, don't forget to subscribe. Well guys, what can I say? The new Armour sliding motor mount makes changing the pinion gear an absolute doddle. I would say 2-3 minutes work at the most. Anyway, speaking of Armours, let's stay with that thing and to go on to the big rock. Well, the Armour big rock's been sat on the side for a while there guys, awaiting these Techno adapters. That's because these big rock tyres, I've got a 14mm hex in the middle, as do all the 3S Armours. So 14mm hex is on here, but I want to fit my Traxxas paddle tyres, which have got a 12mm hex. So I'm going to use these Techno 12mm hex adapters, which is designed, well, kind of not designed for specifically for the Armour, but do enable you to fit Traxxas or any other 12mm hex wheels to one of the 3S Armours. So off with these hexes, on with these, on with the paddle tyres. When doing a job like this, I have separate drawers for Traxxas hexes and one for Armour hexes.
Then when you take the armour hexes off the wheels, they don't get confused with any Tractus ones you might have.
Shop recommended these Techno hexes to me. I can see why, because if you see on there, they take a tiny little grip screw, so when you've put the thing on, you can tighten it up to clamp it down. Very neat. Okay, highly recommend these Techno hexes. They've made a really nice job of fitting these pedal tyres to my armour Big Rock 4x4. So I should be taking this down the beach tomorrow and see if we can do a bit of dune bashing and see if we can find some water to skim along as well. One advantage in using these 12mm hexes, of course, as well, is that I can now use my chunky Proline M28s on here. And before I get on to the HPI Sprint brushless conversion, which will be featured running in this video, it's time to talk about the Armour Granite 4x4 situation. Now, you may be wondering why I bought a new drive shaft so soon for my Armour Granite 4x4 3S PLX. Well, when I was out with it the other day, I happened to notice it was two-wheel drive, just rear-wheel drive. The front wheel weren't working. Thinking it was the front input shaft gone, because that was a classic case of them breaking on it when people convert the original ones to brushless. The input shafts broke on it. But this has got the uprated ones on here. What it doesn't have is maybe an uprated drive shaft on it, because the drive shaft has snapped. Not only that, my battery rather, it threads through on this side like this through the chassis, but here when I've taken a hard landing, the battery has pulled that out completely. So not only do I need the new drive shaft there, but I also need to fit a new chassis. But it doesn't make any sense to replace the drive shaft until I put the new chassis up tomorrow. Cannot for the life of me imagine how that happened.
Anyway guys, time to put the armour to bed and get on with working on HPI Sprint.
Anyway guys, back to the fast stuff. My HPI Sprint car is going to get an upgrade, 4000 kV motor, 60 amp ESC, so I'll fit that in and then show you guys what it does outside. Well guys, quickly wired together my new 4000 kV motor and 60 amp ESC. Just going to remove the existing ESC, existing motor, wire this setup back in, then we'll take it outside for a quick spin, see what it can do. Everything in place. That's only taken me probably just under 10 minutes to do that, which is not too bad at all. Nice and easy to work on. 3S pack on board, so let's take it outside to see what it can do. Okay guys, the HPI Sprint is all ready for its maiden test with its new brushless setup, so let's go outside. There is just one slight problem, but Driftomaniacs is not to be beaten. It's a little bit dark to test this out here, but thanks to the LED lights, we can at least have a go tonight. Ooh. Oh, that's not good. Testers guys, it wasn't actually the pinion at all, it was this screw in the middle here that had come undone, but I guess I'm putting about twice the amount of power through this car as it was designed for. I have a feeling this may be an excess of power on here. Oh yeah. This is just way too fast for here. We have just got such a ridiculous amount of power in here, and there's not an awful lot of grip on here either. And I think we can safely say, Rich, you've just got a stupid amount of power in here. Man. The tyres on this are normally really grippy. The steering is just, it's like a slot car racer normally, but that's got enough power on tap there to light those. I might need to put some foams on here. I've just been playing around with it off camera. It is just some stupid power for this time of night out here. And this car is very, it's like driving a slot car when it's when the tyres are nicely warmed up. The thing is really on it. Anyway guys, what do we think of it now I've done that brushless conversion? 4kV brushless setup on there, running on 3S tonight out there in the dark. It handles like a slot car. When those tyres are warmed up, it just grips and goes around in the corners like crazy. It's like driving a remote controlled slot car, for want of a better words, on there. A little bit of tweaking I think to do on the suspension setup on there, and obviously because it's got the power to flick that back end out, although my yard isn't the best of grip surfaces. Anyway, got plenty more to come for this car fairly soon. Going to put the GPS on it for sure, as well as do a full test on it once that handling's sorted out. Anyway guys, that's nearly it for tonight.
Well, my fellow Driftomaniacs, I hope you enjoyed Richie's RC shop time. Gives you some idea of what goes on behind the scenes. If you don't want to miss any of those cars in action in the coming days, then don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, me guys, I'm calling it a night.
We hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the circle image to subscribe. And if you hit subscribe, then don't forget to hit that little notifications bell next to it.